Thanks for joining us for another half hour of local news. We begin with an update on last week's shooting involving U.S. Border Patrol agents in southeast Portland. Court documents revealing new details and indicating a federal officer shot the man and woman here on Thursday after the pickup they were in repeatedly rammed a rental car being used by federal agents. And documents indicate several agents said they were, quote, fearful for their safety, while Homeland Security called this a targeted traffic stop. It turns out the woman in the vehicle was already on the radar of local authorities. Catherine Cook explains why.
This is a quiet neighborhood.
A southwest Portland neighborhood investigators now say is tied to two suspects shot by federal agents outside a Portland medical clinic last week. Back in July, Washington County Sheriff's deputies responded to reports of a shooting at the Frank Estate Apartments on Southwest Furlock Way.
So it was broad daylight, so that was kind of the weird part.
Neighbor Justin Patonis was home and heard breaking glass.
And then next thing I know, I see the Sheriff's Department coming down my stairs and in our backyard and stuff. Fully got, the beanbag guns ready to go and stuff. So, just very confused what was going on.
The sheriff's office tells KGW no one was hurt and suspects fled the scene. Detectives also identified a person of interest in the case, Betsabeth Zambrano Contreras. Federal officials say she was one of two people shot last week by Border Patrol agents. Investigators identified the other as Luis Nino Moncada. Federal officials say both are connected to a Venezuelan gang and prostitution ring, which brings us back to the Frank Estates last July. An arrest affidavit filed by an FBI agent says sheriff's deputies interviewed two victims who weren't injured. They said they'd engaged in the services of a prostitute identified as Zambrano Contreras. The affidavit noted she left after a dispute, then returned to the apartment with several men and tried to break in. One victim ran out the back of the apartment and said he was shot at while running away.
Pretty crazy, yeah. I know I talked to the sheriff right after it happened, and then they just said a deal gone bad or something.
Patonis and other neighbors never imagined it would come to this 6 months later.
It's a heavy thing in the news, but unfortunately we just got to stay safe and, all band together essentially.
That's Catherine Cook reporting there. Meanwhile, Nino Moncada remains behind bars. He's set to appear in federal court on Wednesday. Zambrano Contreras is now being held in the ICE Processing Center in Tacoma. Well, speaking of Washington, lawmakers are considering several bills when it comes to federal immigration enforcement. Two bills, one each in the House and Senate, propose banning face coverings for all law enforcement officers when they are interacting with the public. One of those was set for its first hearing today. Another bill would put guardrails on how data from the Flock system is used. That's the network of cameras that automatically read license plates, and it's being used in at least 17 jurisdictions in the state. Some cities, by the way, have stopped using them due to concerns ICE and other agencies could obtain that data. And as lawmakers return to Olympia, they're grappling with a $2 billion deficit. The House Speaker, Democrat, blames that on President Trump's tariffs and policies and says the state is losing federal dollars from everything from electric car charges to health care. Also, Governor Ferguson is proposing an income tax that he and backers say would only impact millionaires. Republicans say they're ready for a fight.
It might be a millionaire's tax today, but eventually it's going to be a tax on you and me. People need to think, how many times have politicians in Olympia raised my taxes versus how many times have they cut my taxes?
Governor says he will only sign off on a millionaire's tax if there are other tax breaks that come along with it, things that would help families like sales tax cuts on food, toiletries, and diapers. He also thinks the tax would require a constitutional amendment. Developing tonight, Portland police have reassigned an officer as they review a complaint against him for comments that were caught on camera during a recent protest outside the South Portland ICE facility. Blair Best takes a look.
Renee Nicole Good, you would shoot her too!
If she drove a car at me, yes.
Video circling online shows a controversial interaction between a Portland police officer and a protester Friday night outside the Portland ICE building, 2 days after a federal ICE agent shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis.
So you think that could serve us? You absolutely clear it for me.
What? Sometimes criminals get shot. If they threaten a
By
cop,
who? By
they
who?
get shot. By law enforcement.
Get shot by law enforcement?
Absolutely.
When they're doing nothing?
No, when they're breaking the law.
This video, taken just 1 day after a Border Patrol agent shot and injured 2 people in southeast Portland, sparking protests. City Councilor Angelita Murillo speaking out online.
I am completely appalled and frankly enraged to see that Portland police are talking to protesters or to anyone like this. This is completely unacceptable behavior.
The Portland police officer in question has been reassigned to other duties as the Bureau reviews a complaint about his comments. That's according to Police Chief Bob Day. Chief Day adds in a statement, in part, tensions are high at this time, and this is affecting all of us, including community members and Portland Police Bureau members. Our goal is to ensure that community trust is maintained and that members of the Bureau consistently represent the professional standards that everyone deserves. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson tells KGW in part, like Renee, everyday Portlanders across the city have stood up to a reckless, escalatory federal government, and they need to know their local leaders and law enforcement are on their side. I have full confidence in Chief Day and the Portland Police Bureau as they review this incident.
I will be using whatever power I have as a city councilor to address things like this. I will be talking to the police chief and to the mayor.
Blair Best reporting there. Okay, to Snohomish County, now north of Seattle, where firefighters saved a litter of puppies over the weekend from a suspected fentanyl overdose. It started, officials say, with someone banging on the firehouse door with the unresponsive puppies. Firefighters, thinking they had overdosed, immediately gave the puppies Narcan, as much as 3 doses, to get them awake and jumping around. When sheriff's deputies checked on the home where the puppies were found, they found 3 more that needed care.
Awesome. They were so happy and playing and jumping around and playing with toys.
All the puppies are now recovering. It'll be a little while longer, though, before they're ready to find their forever homes. In Woodburn, police are asking for help tracking down the man they say stole 2 packages. Talk about a porch pirate. This is from a home on Dahlia Street. Authorities describe the suspect as between 5'9" and 6 feet tall. They say he was seen getting into a silver or gold sedan with a dent in the front passenger side fender. If you see him or have any other information, please reach out to Woodburn Police. A prolific Portland tagger has been sentenced to 4 years in prison, though it turns out that might just be the start. Jacob Ramos is known for the beer tag sprayed across the city. While he was sentenced Monday, he now faces more charges after investigators say a search of his home turned up nearly a dozen guns and evidence of a gun-making workshop. In Southeast Portland, the Oregon Health Authority has partnered with a treatment center on a new supportive housing project that has now broken ground. The new Fora Home by Fora Health is set to open in 2027. The facility, located near the treatment center, will offer 46 beds in 23 rooms to house patients while they get help and support. $4 million for the project came from the OHA. Straight ahead on KGW News, why spring-like temperatures are not great news when it comes to conditions on Mount Hood, and just as ski season was getting underway. I mean, Joe, gorgeous day in the valley, though.
Absolutely stunning, and it's going to be nice once we get past all the fog that's going to be rolling in. Case in point, as we go out to the reserve at the Aloha from our Explorer Tualatin Valley camera, yeah, it's already starting to roll in. Just a couple of hours ago, it was a beautiful sunset. Now it's foggy up and down the I-5 corridor, and it's just going to continue to thicken up over the next few hours. I'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Welcome back. Volunteers helped the Hood River County Sheriff's Office rescue a couple climbers over the weekend. Deputies say one of them fell into the White River Glacier on Mount Hood on Saturday. The Sheriff's Office calls climbing conditions challenging right now given the variable snow conditions and, of course, those warmer temperatures. By the way, the change in weather has made it tough for skiers and boarders as well on the mountain. Celine Stevens checked in with some folks at Timberline.
It almost felt like spring up here on Mount Hood. Temperatures have been mild, but as a result, the snow has been a little less than ideal for snowboarders and skiers. Those I spoke with up at Timberline say it's more difficult when the snow is more slushy compared to powder. Still, they enjoyed the sun and great weather. Places like Mount Hood Meadows are prepared with extra piles of snow from last week's storm ready to go. While the limited snowfall overall has made a mark on some businesses, there's still people who come out and ride regardless.
In Oregon, if you wait for good weather, you're going to be waiting a long time. You got to make do with what you got. There's still a lot of snow to come. Don't give up on winter yet.
Although the current conditions make things a little bit more difficult, it doesn't appear that that's going to stop anybody from coming out for the rest of the week or into the holiday weekend. At Timberline, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
They need the business. We need to have fun. Spring conditions, but not quite, because, Joe, typically in the spring things freeze again overnight. You get that icy layer in the morning. No, spring skiers know don't head out until like late in the morning, early afternoon. But in this case, it doesn't sound like things are freezing at all.
It's not going to be enjoyable if you're hoping to go up. I'm not trying to keep people from going up there. It's a beautiful scene. But
this is the reality.
This is the reality, and you're going to be just skiing and trying to attempt to ski on slush. So here's a look at the current conditions. Look at Magic Mile, 50 degrees outside Timberline Lodge, 53
That's just
degrees.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and Government Camp, you're at 48 degrees. And like David said, this isn't just a day or two that it's going to be like this. We're going to be looking at a freezing level 13,000 feet the rest of the week. We don't see a change in the weather pattern in terms of seeing precipitation fall until a week from Thursday, maybe a week from Friday. So, yeah, we're kind of going to be seeing things get worse before they get any better up in the Oregon Cascades, which is it's too bad, because I was up there last week and it was stunning with close to 3 feet snow totals from last Tuesday into Thursday. Downtown Portland right now, 48 degrees. You're clear right now, but when we chat again at 11 o'clock, even by 6:30, we're going to be seeing some clouds roll in. It's going to be very thick and dense fog tomorrow, so that's why there's that dense fog advisory in place. Early tomorrow morning, we'll be looking at temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s to start things off, but there's a good chance that once we hit 43 late morning, that's where our temperatures stop to rise because the clouds are so thick. Early in the afternoon, I do have us seeing a little bit of some clearing. I think it's kind of a stretch to say we're going to be seeing temperatures in the upper 40s. I could be wrong, but looking at these models, I think pretty much right on in terms of saying how cool and cloudy it's going to be tomorrow. Dense morning fog. Again, if you're out and about, running the kids off to school, give yourself a little extra time because you're going to be needing it, because some locations in Yamhill County, for example, are down to zero visibility. Air stagnation is also in effect until the end of the week. We stay dry for the next week, then we start to see some rain move in, but not for another 8-9 days or so. The ridge of high pressure is going to be the weather story. It's going to steer everything north of us in terms of clouds, and any storm threat, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So get used to the sunny and warm conditions for the middle part of January. Dense fog advisory is in place. That's that yellow color you see. There's also air quality alerts. Now, again, that dense fog advisory stretches almost to the Oregon coast. Air quality alerts throughout Bend and Redmond and near Mount Bachelor. There's also the air stagnation advisory throughout the valley up and down the I-5 corridor. So as we put this into motion, this is the cloud cover that's going to move through. And again, I said we're going to be bone dry for the next 8 days or so, and that's true, but there could be a little bit of some light precipitation that falls, so that could give us a little bit of some rain, but it's just going to be more of that mist because those clouds are just right at the surface. So be aware of that, and because of the clouds not burning off, we're going to be looking at poor visibility pretty much most of the day. I think the metro area will be well above freezing, but there could be some places down in the Eugene area that could be seeing pockets of freezing fog, so pay attention to that. And the east side of the state, you're going to be seeing nothing but sunshine here the next few days. And again, Thursday we'll start another run of sunny and warm conditions. Snow level It's not about the snow level, it's about the freeze level the next couple days. It's going to be right around that 12 to 13,000 feet. So it's about 7,000 feet above Timberline Lodge. It gives you an idea just how strong this ridge of high pressure is. The east wind will help with the air stagnation advisory later on this week. We'll start to see the winds come in from the east later on in the week with gusts about 25-30 miles per hour in the east side of Multnomah County. Right now we're looking at temperatures in the low 40s across the city along the Oregon coast, right around 50 degrees. We topped out in the low 50s. A few locations yesterday were right around 60 along the Oregon coast. That's not going to happen today or tomorrow. So 46 tomorrow, and then we'll start to see our temperatures return to above average for this time of year. 7-day forecast looks like this. Areas of clouds tomorrow, and it will be dense fog most of the day, especially up and down the I-5 corridor. And then looking into Thursday and Friday and the holiday weekend, we're back to sunny and dry conditions with temperatures in the mid-50s.
I know, blissfully spring-like and sunny. There are always consequences for that.
Exactly right.
Thanks, Joe. To Wildlife Watch, and an update now on the Oregon Zoo's rare Mazama newts. I think we have the video. Here it is. The zoo says the group has grown 20% in weight and length in just a couple of months. Tiny little guys, right? The newts are native to Crater Lake, but crayfish, you remember, threatened the population, almost causing them to go extinct. The zoo's Mazama Newt Lab hopes to eventually return the next generation of the amphibians back into the lake. Little eyes. Straight ahead of their first divisional round appearance in half a decade, the Seahawks are putting their feet down when it comes to fan behavior. The details in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
All right, the Seahawks are back in the Emerald City this Saturday to take on the 49ers in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. It is a huge game with Seattle's last divisional appearance in 2019. And this year, the team is warning fans that reselling playoff tickets could cost you. Natalie Swaby explains.
Seattle will soon be bursting with playoff energy.
I love my town. I love the Seahawks.
And the Seahawks-49ers rivalry,
You gotta show me.
It's revved up and roaring.
You're looking at that Warriors, the town, the real town, Oaktown.
Seattle! A Bay Area faithful versus a diehard 12. Who's going to win?
Is he right?
These guys. No, absolutely not.
Battle lines cut across the city with fans staking their claims.
I am a Rams fan. My husband's a 49er fan.
and my son's a Seattle fan.
For her son, she captures the moment.
It's his team, so I want to take pictures for him.
A picture at Lumen Field, a place known for being loud.
Oh yeah, one of the highest decibels ever, so yeah.
I still remember what it was like being there. The noise hit such a deafening level that it turned into a hum.
Jeff Hindle is a season ticket holder.
And then we have a firm policy in our group that nobody sells their tickets to, non-Seahawks fans.
Now the Seahawks are sending out their warning about playoff ticket resales.
We're happy to provide the ability to resell. If they determine that your tickets were primarily used for resale, I think that's the tipping point.
If ticket holders do resell, it could affect their renewal eligibility next season.
Right, no pun intended with Seahawks, but I'm glad they're finally ruffling some feathers. Yeah.
I get that, to support your own hometown team. Oh yeah.
I mean, you go there for a collective experience. And yeah, it's fun sparring with fans from other teams and things like that in a fun way, but it's way more fun high-fiving, a Seahawks fan when something fantastic happens.
We're going to go hard, like we always do.
Seattle sports fans are soaking it up.
Take a step back and really look at the history of things. It's like we're living in wonderful times right now, and hopefully more wonderful after Saturday.
In Seattle.
We're loyal, we're loud, go Hawks.
Natalie Swaby.
Straight up.
King 5 News.
No, ruffling some feathers. All right, from the gridiron to the court with the Trailblazers set to take on the Golden State Warriors tonight. Rip City hoping to get back to their winning ways after they had a 5-game winning streak snapped, losing to the Knicks at Moda Sunday, 123-114. Now the Blazers are 19-21 this season, putting them at 9th in the West. By the way, you can catch tonight's game on KGW and NBC. Tip-off set for 8. Oh, it is that time. Speaking of basketball, we got a whole lot more of it coming your way when Season 8 of Friday Night Hoops tips off on Friday. Your one-stop shop for boys and girls high school basketball, along with the Blazers and, yes, college ball as well. Orlando Sanchez and our team of photographers will be flocking to high school gyms near you starting this Friday and in the weeks ahead. That is Friday Night Hoops right after KGW News at 11, only here on KGW. Can't wait for that. We'll still to come budget troubles, a naked calendar, and some willing models in their 80s and 90s. We'll explain this one next.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
All right, check this out. A risque calendar you might say is all for a great cause, because in one Southern Oregon town, older residents are helping out by stripping down. Thomas Schultz with the details.
We've all heard about those towns where the budget gets tight and they have to cut back. Well, down in Lakeview, down in Lake County in Southern Oregon, instead of tightening their belt, some residents are loosening their pants. Yeah, here's some photos. You're going to want to see this. These are from Lakeview's Naked Calendar. And yeah, these are some of the town's older residents doing their part to help out. Recently, Lakeview learned it may have to cut its snowplow services this year because the town just doesn't have enough money to go around. And that can be a big problem down there because they can get more than 50 inches of snow every year. So these residents decided they'd hike up their bootstraps, drop trowel, and get to posing.
Well, I told people who, when I was trying to get models, that you do have to be naked because it changes your face. Even if you're covered strategically, you know you're naked and it changes things.
And yeah, this thing has taken off. So far, Don's tells us that they've raised more than $50,000. And if you want to get your calendar, don't worry, it's not too late. You can do so either in town or online. Now, I asked Don's, okay, is there any chance you're going to bring this thing back next year? She's already thinking about that, and she says they've got a group of women in their 80s and 90s who are ready for their photo shoot. They say they're going to be in classic cars while they do so. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Great photos. I mean, whatever works, right? Stick around for another full hour of local news and weather. No more calendars coming your way in just 2 minutes. In the meantime, let's check out the view from our Lincoln City sky camera. Foggy night out at the coast. Your top stories are straight ahead.